This month, WSAV News 3's Andrew Davis was the first to bring you serious written complaints by more than 6 dozen officers against Savannah Police Chief Roy Minter. Tonight, Andrew is back with an On Your Side report involving the investigation of a police gang unit member and why Chief Minter has kept him on the force.
Well, it's a case involving robberies and guns, gang members, apparent lies, and one Savannah police officer who may be connected to all of it, Adrian Gates. Document after document of an internal affairs investigation resulted in a recommendation to fire Officer Gates, but it's a recommendation that Chief Roy Minter didn't follow. This is Officer Adrian Gates. He had been a member of the Savannah Police gang unit for just a few months last August when he caught the attention of Internal Affairs. The report we received is heavily redacted because there is still an active investigation into several people Gates has been connected to. Still, what's not redacted paints a very suspicious picture. For example, Gates was documented going to a suspected gang house 8 different times, but admitted under oath he never shared information from any of those visits with his supervisor. Officer Gates' supervisor writes in this report he had, quote, concerns over Officer Gates and where he was supposed to be. Concerns that are amplified by taped phone conversations from the jail in which several inmates mention Gates by name. Questionable text messages between Gates and possible gang suspects add to this suspicion. The report includes a statement from someone in the neighborhood of the suspected gang house about a, quote, crooked police officer who may be sharing information with the gang, and another claim he tipped them off about a raid so they could hide their guns. Officer Gates was interviewed 3 different times, and details changed in each one. In one of those interviews, he denied meeting one of the suspects. Later, he admitted he had. Asked directly by the Internal Affairs interviewer if he was impartial during his investigation, Gates blatantly said no, adding, quote, yes, it was personal. Finally, and perhaps most disturbing, an empty package of Stream, a fake urine product used to try and pass drug tests, found in Gates' police vehicle. Eventually, a panel of 5 officers, including Assistant Chief Lenny Gunther, Major Devon Adams, and Captain David Gay, said the board sustained all of the allegations against Officer Gates, including untruthfulness, and said the appropriate and reasonable discipline should be termination. That recommendation then went to the desk of Police Chief Roy Minter. In a February 4th memo, Chief Minter did sustain or acknowledge the charges of violation of oath of office, ethics, and conduct. But in the chief's office, termination turned to suspension, only 40 hours or 1 week without pay. After that decision, the Chatham County District Attorney's Office placed Gates in what's called the Giglio Files, an informal collection of officers who have, by definition, questionable character and would most likely not be used to testify in criminal cases. Just a month later, a new memo was sent out saying the chief clarified his findings, and without any explanation on paper or via phone to the DA's office, suddenly took away the untruthfulness designation in favor of a conduct unbecoming and impartiality violations. When I asked why the chief switched those charges, SPD sent a written statement which said Internal Affairs did a thorough investigation and then, quote, after examining the case in its entirety, suitable disciplinary action was administered to the office and an accountability plan has been put in place to address any future courses of action. But that accountability actually now in question because Officer Gates has now had 2 other incidents of misconduct in the same time period as this investigation was happening, including one where he possibly deployed a taser to intimidate someone while he was in an off-duty job, all while he was wearing Savannah Police Department equipment. He received another 2-week suspension in December 2019, just 2 months before Internal Affairs finished their investigation. As a side note, by the way, Officer Adrian Gates was one of the 77 officers who signed the complaint letter against Chief Minter. Andrew Davis, WSAV News 3, on your side.